my Star Trek family. How are we doing today? Hope you're all doing well on this ARC launch. I want to take a moment to review the ARC launch and talk about one or two of the things that I'm just I can already see people potentially getting frustrated with. And we'll try and keep it brief because I'll be making other videos for crews for sure, looking at the refinery and things like that. So let's hop into it, and we'll be brief, hopefully here. But this is update 64, patch notes. And there's this whole blurb you can read about the the Xindi Civil War erupting and so forth. So there's going to be these new temporal artifacts. There's a number that are pretty interesting. You get to kind of pick and choose, which is great rather than just this random chance it seems like with the other artifacts. The silent enemy hostiles are going to be very difficult. They hit hard with, I've looked at the information on STFC.space, and just briefly I'll touch base on it. So this is a 41, silent enemy 41. So they'll get harder with doing more damage, of course, but I think that the abilities are going to be the same. Increases critical chance by 100% for the first 4 rounds. Increases critical damage by 350% at the start of each round. They cannot go below 50%, and applies burning. So they're going to hit massive criticals, and it looks like for the first 4 rounds, all their shots are going to be criticals. They've got energy and kinetic weapons. So yeah, they're going to be tough. They're going to be hard. My initial thought is you're probably going to have to punch down, but that kind of comes at a difficult point. So we'll kind of go over that. But so we'll have to learn how to deal with those for the turn-ins. New officers, new true critical chance and damage modifiers, and I'm sure that if you have the money to spend, that these will help with the loot probably. But you have to go to these token systems, which if we hop back into the game, they are near where we have been hitting Xindi and so forth. So we've got this purple space just to the west of Federation space here. And we're looking at this area right here. I haven't gone yet, but this is where you're going to need to go to knock out these hostiles. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting. We'll have to see how well it goes and what crews that we as a community can come up with and share with each other. So that's where you're going to go. You're going to get a daily 2 tokens. It looks like a day to go to those systems. You're going to need to hit what it looks like right now are hostiles equal to your level. If I go back to STFC.space, for example, this 141 drops uncommon, and you're going to have to hit a higher level system in order, if you're higher level ops like myself, to get the rare parts that you're going to need to take out these hostiles for your turn-ins. If I go back to the game, actually, I'm going to go to my, oh wait, it's not the refinery, sorry. It is in the claim or gifts section, and go to artifacts there. And so for me, this temporal restorations was where you're going to go to turn in these here, the temporal disruptors, and you will get those. It looks like, and if I'm missing anything, forgive me, this is intro video, but from what I can tell, you're going to have an exchange that's probably tied to your level. So for me, I have to hit higher level hostiles to get the rare ones. Hopefully, if you're a lower level player, this is supposed to be content for 38 plus, which in judging by our recent months, if they say 40 plus, it was really 42 plus. So maybe you'll have to be a little 40 or 42 to be able to do this, because you're going to have to probably punch down, at least initially, is my thought. So we'll see how it goes if we can come up with some good crews, like I said before. But I need to have at least 3,000 for a single turn-in to get the temporal disruptors. And it's nice in a way because they've got all these parts which are hard to source, so it's great that they have that. We also have these prime orbit medallions that you can use to unlock some primes, which is fantastic. We'll look at that in another video. But you have to be able to do this turn-in, so this is going to frustrate people because you're going to have to hit a higher level hostiles in order to do this. at least for my levels. So punching down isn't going to be as much of an option. We'll have to see how well it goes. So we'll see how that goes as far as doing the turn-ins, and then you can, once you get the turn-ins, you can start unlocking some of the artifacts, which will be nice. Okay. We looked at the silent enemies and their abilities, and I have posted in my Discord, made a channel for the silent enemies to start kind of the conversation. I posted a couple of things there. They suggest Pike Monroe Tucker or Enterprise E Picard Data / Tucker or Cerberus Decius Charvanek. Cerberus, he triggers when someone applies burning to you, so that's why that works. Decius helps with high level hostiles you're hitting, and Charvanek does piercing, which should be effective for the battleships you will be hitting. And with synergy, Cerberus should be doing more damage. So that's sounds like a decent option. My guess with Pike Monroe Tucker is that it will mostly be effective if Tucker is higher tiered to reduce their critical damage. So he might be, and this is an early comment on this, but he might be someone worth going for in the event store if you have the currency and you don't need other things. So that will be a judgment call, but probably someone I will be going after. I have him at tier 1, working on tier 2. So not super tiered for me, but I imagine you're 3, 4, or 5 level tiered in order to have him be really effective. Obviously, Pike Monroe will increase his effectiveness. But it's those first few rounds that are most painful, so he really needs to be able to fire trigger to reduce their damage significantly from the get-go, I think. Picard Data Tucker. That's interesting if your Tucker is high enough tiered, and you'll be doing isolated damage with Picard and Data. Plus you have the extra loot drops that Picard will trigger. So that is a potential to look at as well. There was some problems, as I understand it, with this ENT3 code on the website. And you just go right here, click on redeem, and you can enter that. Oh, I gotta get back into the patch notes apparently. But I was able to get to enter it, and it did give me some, I think, 3 tokens and some shards for some of the new artifacts. So that's helpful. It didn't completely unlock anything, but it gives me that option. So that's good. Let's talk about the officer's flux. Officer ability, reducing opponent critical chance by X% opponent players. So that sounds like a PvP officer. If that's your thing, maybe he's worth going after. The technological distinctiveness, I struggled with that initially, but right now it's not that big of a deal. So I'm kind of meh on that. So leave that up to you. The Borg cube, as cool as it is, it gets really expensive to upgrade, so there's that too, but maybe at higher levels he'll be worth getting. All right. Hoshi Sato, a linguist, if I remember right from the show. Cargo size. So that's interesting. Is it needed? I don't know. I have to have her as an officer ability and compare that with the other officers. So that might be worth it if you're looking at, you're maxed enough that she's more beneficial than the current officers. That may be interesting for things like incursions. So we'll see. And then gas mining speed. Yeah, what was it? Shran did that last month we got that does crystal. So I mean, if you could weigh max, maybe it will help, but I don't know. I'm not too big on the mining officers, as you can tell. Prime critical evasion, reducing opponent's total critical chance. Prime board cutting beam damage, and then the survey, battleship explorer, and interceptor part manufacturing extra surveying, which, you know, if you've got the money, go for it. I won't be, because I don't think they're going to add that much to me for my typical spend levels. So let's see here. And then they've got this true critical chance and damage modifiers. So interesting, but yeah, I think the bulk of this arc is going to come down to, are these officers valuable to you? You'll have to decide that, and then figuring out how best to take on these silent enemies for the turn-ins. It's going to be an interesting month as we try and figure some of this out. My biggest concern right now is, will you be able, I keep going to the refinery. I want to go to the refinery. My brain just wants to go there to refine stuff, but we have to go here. Are you going to be able to hit appropriate to your level? I've already talked with someone who's close to my level on my Discord, and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to be positive, but it's going to take a long time to even do a single turn-in based upon level of ships and stuff. So I guess the question is, are your ships leveled appropriate to your level per Scopely standards? Are you trying to get by with a lower level or whatever ship to get to the next level? Like, I've only got my Vorcha and Corvus to tier 4, trying to get by until I get to level 56 where I can get the Sanctus and kind of focus on that. So yeah, I expect to struggle this month. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. And if you're in that same boat and you're not quite haven't quite focused enough on your warships, this could be a difficult month if you can't get the turn-ins that you need. Dang it, guys, I keep doing that. If you can't get appropriate to your level the loot you need to do the turn-ins, it's going to be pretty frustrating. So once again, this is early on. We may see some adjustments from Scopely on some of this, where we as a community hopefully will start doing some testing and find out some good solutions, even beyond the crew recommendations that Scopely has given us. So anyways, there's my video. Some of my thoughts, things I'm concerned with. I'm not super impressed with the officers as far as like benefit to the everyday player, but it is what it is. And I guess the last thing I will say before I sign off for the day is that we do have an event store. So for some of you, you will like it. There's some good stuff in there. Some of you are going to be like, yeah, there's nothing really new or nothing interesting. That's kind of my initial look, that there's not too much interesting in there for me. But we'll probably do a video on that as well. So anyways, appreciate all your support. Feel free to leave your comments below or join the Discord. We're doing a monthly giveaway right now. It's going for 2 days. So feel free to join the Discord and join and get in on that. We're going to be giving away 2 battle passes to celebrate the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So anyways, thanks so much and have a good day.